Got Neal Atkinson on the phone. Bet Saracen, of course, joining us on a Friday on halftime from somewhere out on a golf course, Pleasant Valley today, Neal. What's going on out there?
Absolutely. I found me a nice little quiet spot, and I'm away from a green, so I don't have to worry about that, I don't believe. But a little out of breath because a fat boy walking around a golf course, now I know why I get golf carts whenever I do attempt to play golf.
Yeah, well, it's all right, but this is the second year they've had that what is it, Simmons Bank event at Pleasant Valley Country Club. I know the Champions Tour, I think they voted it as their favorite event from last year, so seems like something they're going to have going on a lot. What do you guys have going on out there?
Oh, we're out near the 17th hole. We've got we got some promos going on where you can win some free bets on Bet Saracen. We've got actually since we're near the 17th hole, we've got the golf simulator where you can hit a shot and we have a leaderboard each day, and the closest to the hole wins. And if you get a hole in one, you're probably going to win. But that golf simulator is actually pretty neat, and it just proves how bad I am at playing golf every time I've tried it.
But lines moved a lot this week. Did I see Auburn was favored -1 or 1.5 earlier? It's going all the way to Arkansas favored 2.5 today.
Yeah, and the line moved yesterday. It came out at 1.5. 24 hours later, Arkansas plus 1.5. And about 24 hours later, when all the early money started coming in, it immediately moved to Arkansas -1, and yesterday it moved to -2.5. Not just local bias here in Arkansas, the money's coming in. That is a national, pretty much consensus line, and it looks like the betting public is backing Arkansas also. And at 2.5, I think the weather has a good opportunity to come into play tomorrow. We've got one of the best on paper. We got one of the best offenses in the country against one of the better defenses in the country. So something's got to give there. The over and under 55.5. I've got all of my statistics and simulations and things like that. I will tell you this: my simulations do indicate to bet the under. Of course, those simulations haven't always been right, but on this particular game, that's what it says.
It's just a little difficult sometimes to figure out when you've got the strengths and the weaknesses, not just for one team, but both teams, so different. And then you get the two strengths facing each other, the two weaknesses facing each other. That's what makes this one. And I don't think it's necessarily the outcome of the game, who wins or loses, and by how many points is the most difficult. It's the point total that's a little more difficult to figure out this one around.
Yeah, it is, and that trickles down a little bit to the prop bets, because if the weather is going to affect either the passing game and make it more of a running game, or hey, maybe the weather's a little bit better, there's a clearing during part of the game and it's not as intense, the passing game could get hot. So, with the prop bets for how many yards that players are going to get and the different prop bets, and also the different scoring combinations, because if the game was wet and messy, there could be a lot of turnovers, a lot of interesting plays. But that field up there is in real good shape, and it held up real good last week after the monsoon that came before the game, and it was delayed 2 hours. So, with that 11:45 start, we'll hope the weather is good there and holds out, and everybody stays safe up there. They're not expecting as much lightning, so I think that's a good thing.
Basketball tonight. I know we don't always have exhibition lines, but a lot of people are interested in this game. Is Bet Saracen providing a line for Arkansas versus Cincinnati?
Well, how could we not? I had to. So we did. We've traditionally done the exhibition games. Now we have a $100 limit on how much you can bet. We've got a money line with his Arkansas was -300. We've got a over and under total, and we've also got a 7.5 point spread on that one also. And don't ask me how we came up with the lines. I said, well, I'm not going to try it. I gave it to my risk people. And this is a real hard one to put a line, because you don't know what to expect and how many minutes play of the starting players and things of that nature. So we just put that line out there because people want to bet it, and we'll call it the warm up to betting on college basketball by putting a $100 cap on it, and it is, and the proceeds from ticket sales are going to a charity also. So, yeah, we've got a little bit of line on it for people that are interested in doing it. We won't get a whole lot of action. We didn't last year, but if you want to make it more interesting, I mean, it's a great weekend in Fayetteville with the game tonight and the game tomorrow. So maximize on that one. So
I got to ask about the NBA scandal that exploded yesterday, and this just feels like it's shaking the foundations of the NBA. There's still some, I think, potentially a lot of details left to come out. And I wonder how this affects the gambling industry, the legal gambling industry specifically.
Well, the legal gambling industry, although you never want to see this type of activity and with the ties to criminal organizations, I guess I guess I'd say it, the mob, with the ties into that and organized crime. This one is a little bit different because I think there was people got in over their head with a different criminal endeavor, and that allowed them to be exploited with the NBA just from the preliminary stuff. I do know some non-public information about certain things that I cannot talk about, but it's going to be bigger. It's going to be widespread, and not widespread. It's going to be bigger than what most people think. But here's the thing: the reason why this is coming to light, the reason why they were able to investigate it, and the reason why they were able to tie it to some bets that were made on certain players is because of the legalized sports industry, because we have the integrity monitoring. Every one of my bets through Bet Saracen, they're anonymized. We don't, the service that we have, they have no idea who made the bet, but we accumulate all of the bets and we send them every 15 minutes. And they've got computer and software programs that look for anomalies. And if there is something that raises an eyebrow or a bet that comes in on the network, and we also have that type of bets, we'll get a phone call or get an alert that we need to investigate it. And 99% of the time, it's nothing, but it's the 1% of the time that you maybe find something and you got to peel the layers of the onions off. That's why, and I'm not going to get in the debate of the Kalishi and the sports contracts and the swaps. That's all for the courts and our government to do. But that's one of the huge deficiencies with that is because those are global markets, and people are putting money in, and those can be influenced. Like for instance, they had a market out for who's going to be the Super Bowl halftime show, Bad Bunny. Well, 18 hours before that announcement was made, why all of a sudden was there a 800% increase in the trading of Bad Bunny for the Super Bowl? That means somebody had some information somewhere. That's part of the reason why we don't spread events like that. I've been asked why I won't spread who the next coach of the Arkansas Razorbacks football team are going to be. It's for that reason only, because there's non-public information that is in certain circles, and no one's in control on whenever that becomes public, if the story leaks or something of that nature. So, it is a black eye for the NBA. They could do more with their integrity monitoring. They could participate, and there are systems out there to where they can anonymize their personnel, not just the players, but the coaching and the training staff and anybody that would have non-public information. There's a way that we can monitor them in the legal sports betting world. They haven't totally signed on for it, but I'm pretty sure that maybe this incident may be the catalyst for them to finally come on board with that. All of our leagues in this area are on that, including the SEC, Great American Conference, and the conference that Missouri State's in is coming on November the 1st. So, if we have the legal regulated sports betting, we can do a better job at policing it. And frankly, most betting scandals is reported by us here in the industry, and we're glad that it's being discovered, although it is a black eye for the individuals involved.
Last thing, I think we got to ask this every week now, since you guys are so close to nailing the game, the final score against Memphis. We had 3 or 4 people check in and ask, what is the simulation have for the final score of the game, not necessarily just the point total?
Okay, let me find it real quick. I didn't have it in. Oh yeah, I have it right here. Projected score of the game is 26-24 Auburn.
Ooh.
And the projected over and under is that score. So it was that 49. So that's what it is from the simulated computer, if that means anything. One week it's spot on, then the next week it's kind of a little bit far off. But other than that, that's what this week's simulation says.
Well, I hope they're at least a few points off towards Arkansas.
I do too. I want Arkansas to get an SEC win, and because it's 11:45 game, I don't mind paying out on the Arkansas because you got all afternoon to put it back in play. So I don't mind it as much when Arkansas is the early game. When it's a late game, it can hurt a bit, especially if Arkansas covers and they are the money line dog. That hurts a lot. But yeah, I'm ready to pay out. I'm ready to pay out early today on this Saturday, and I'll actually be glad to do it.
Of course, they got the World Series starting tonight on Saracen, so make sure you download it from the App Store for your iPhone. Any Android users, you can check it out on Google Play, or just go to a web browser and type it in, betsaracen.com. Neal, enjoy the rest of the golf tournament and the weekend of sports, and we'll revisit next week.
All righty. Bet with your head not over it. Keep it fun and entertaining. Don't forget to check that promo tab a lot. We got football, World Series, Simmons Golf, Profit Boost, and promos on there galore. Everybody stay safe this weekend, stay dry, and go Hogs.
You don't always win your first bet. That's why MyBookie has you covered. Use our code HOGS, H-O-G-S, and your first bet up to $500 is fully covered. If your pick doesn't hit, you get it right back with our Bet Back bonus. Go to mybookie.ag and use the code HOGS to claim your Bet Back bonus. MyBookie's, where bettors win together, because bragging's good, but cashing in is better. And your first bet is fully covered. Use our code HOGS.
Must opt in during the bet to use the Bet Back bonus.